Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, as with yesterday, I got to interview Dennis Keithley as part of the time that I got to spend with him and Jay on Podcast Stardust as we were doing the analysis of a chunk of footage from Return of the Jedi. That's the thing that Podcast Stardust is doing all year long, which is very fun. And I'll link to that episode in the blog post for this show's episode if you'd like to check it out. So anyway, as I went through the interview and then got to the end of the interview, I got to talk to Jay and Dennis and said, hey, can I try out the one question interview on you? Let me be like the trial run with you guys. And they said, yeah, absolutely. So yesterday I featured Jay's answer, and today I'm featuring Dennis's answer to the question, which is, of course, what is the biggest unresolved mystery or story in Star Wars that you'd like to see resolved in your lifetime? So it just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for this episode as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be. And now, without further ado, here is the answer to that question from Dennis Keithley of Podcast Stardust.
Hi, what's your name and your Star Wars claim to fame?
I am Dennis Keithley, and I am co-host to the amazing Jay Krebs on Podcast Stardust.
It's so funny to ask these questions like I've never met you before. I'm so glad to be talking with you again, and this is the one question interview I have this year. When it comes to Star Wars storytelling, if there's one story that you hope would be told in any fashion sometime within your lifetime, what would it be?
Well, I know you just asked this question of Jay, and she told you about Darth Bane, which would have been mine, but I'm also a really, really big fan of Qui-Gon Jinn, and I feel like he has been criminally underserved in Star Wars storytelling over the last several years. And we got to see a glimpse of him in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he played into a little bit of the episodes featuring Count Dooku from Tales of the Jedi. That's not enough for me. I would like to see a lot more of him and his journey as a Jedi from the time he graduated as Dooku's apprentice to the time that he took Obi-Wan on as a Padawan. And you can't get enough Liam Neeson in Star Wars. So bring on more Qui-Gon Jinn.
Awesome. And for anybody who wants to keep up with you and your Star Wars journey, where should they look you up?
Well, everything that has to do with the podcast is at Podcast Stardust on all the various social media platforms. And then you can find the show on any podcatcher that you might be using, again, under Podcast Stardust. And if you want to see things that I'm doing that are Star Wars related sometimes and not, the best place to keep up with these days is on Instagram at DJ Keithley.
Great. Dennis, thank you so much.
Thanks, Alan.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.